Hi, I'm Macy.
And I'm Missy.
We're best friends
and business partners. And each week, we're going to bring you a quote that inspires us, and we're going to talk about it.
Join us as we break down our favorite impactful messages for leadership and share how you can apply them to lead with confidence and purpose.
Get ready for a fun and authentic journey into leadership, life, and everything in between. Well, hey, bestie.
Hey, bestie. I am so excited about today's conversation. Our guest really is someone who's dedicated his life to helping others find purpose and live with passion. Our guest today is going to be David Nassim.
Yes, and that is what we're going to talk about today with the quote that we chose. But before we share the quote, David, welcome. We are so glad you're here.
Hey,
welcome.
Listen, I'm so glad to be here. I watch you guys all the time, and I drank an extra cup of coffee to keep up with you guys. The energy level when I watch, it just goes through the roof, when I start watching you guys. So
I specifically only drink water during our recording because I know
right?
I have a tendency to kind of be too much for some people.
I gotcha. Okay.
I suppose. But David, why don't you kick us off and share with our listeners about you, who you are, what you do? Like, what do you want our audience to know about you?
Hey, if there's ever an example of how God can use a ordinary person to do extraordinary things, I'm it. I mean, I find myself in these positions sometimes like, why in the world am I even here doing this right now? But just a little bit about me. I have an amazing wife. I'll start with that. And her name is Suzette. And we are celebrating 31 years of marriage.
Woo-hoo.
And she is just fantastic. She's my rock. She is my supporter. She's my biggest fan. And when she supports me, I feel like I can run through a wall head first, so amazing wife. I have 6 children. And normally when I always get that response. I'll be speaking to a room and I was like, I'll talk about Suzette. And I said, I have 6 children. And I always hear this, whoa,
Yeah, we have another friend that has 6 kids. So and when he talks about it, I'm like, whoa. And I've been with all 6 and it is, whoa.
Crazy.
Well, we have 3 sons, and then we were done. And then my wife and I felt that we needed to start over again. So we actually adopted 3 unbelievable girls. They're all teenagers. So y'all need to.
Now, are they sisters?
Prayers.
So 2 are biological sisters.
Okay.
And 1 is not biological sister. But our youngest son just moved out of the house. So right now I have a wife, 3 teenage girls, and 4 female dogs.
Oh
my gosh. David.
You need prayers and praise.
I think my wife's getting me back because before we had the girls, we had 3 boys and me. So all the testosterone was in the house. And now I got all,
And Macy and I can sympathize with that because we had, and she still does have a house full of boys. We're empty nesters now, but there's something about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So they are just a huge blessing and to have that. So I've been in the real estate business for on and off for about 32 years. And I was a pastor for 7 years. I was a campus pastor of the Greenville campus of New Spring here in Greenville, South Carolina. And then just started my real estate company again in 2017. And going to be starting a speaking leadership company here over the next few months or so. And that's how I got connected with you guys. So it's just so good to be a part of this. I'm getting old, so there's a lot to talk about, but that just kind of gives you the Cliff Notes version. The older people understand what Cliff Notes are.
Yes.
I know some of the younger listeners. What's a Cliff
Oh
Note?
my gosh, that's so
Cliff
funny.
Notes got me through college, So
maybe ChatGPT might be the new Cliff
Is
Note.
that it?
For sure it is.
So, David, just this is an aside. We're going off tangent, but
we are.
We name our ChatGPT Chaz because he really is our assistant. He helps us so much. But now I'm thinking maybe his name should have been Cliff.
Maybe so.
We're
not changing his name.
No,
Chaz is Chaz, and most of the time he needs a raise.
Yeah, we often talk about giving him a raise. Okay, well, David, thank you so much for sharing. Sure. And this is the quote that we chose for you this week, and it is this: if you can't figure out your purpose, figure out your passion.
Mm.
And
I
that
love
was said
it.
by T.D. Jakes. So let's talk about it.
Okay, it's a great one. I'm so excited about this. David, we're going to just go straight in. What
Let's
do
do it.
you think when you hear that quote?
So here's what I think about that quote. I was talking to someone about this actually just the other day, and it's a younger person just trying to, why am I here? What's my purpose? What am I supposed to do next? And we started talking actually a lot about passion and what passion is and purpose. I think at the end of the day, I think so many people are looking for that. I think so many people are looking like, why am I here? What's my purpose? And what I like to tell people is that purpose is something that you discover. Purpose isn't something that you necessarily, oh, I got it. This is what it is. Literally right before this podcast, I'm walking up the stairs and someone is asking me this exact question about what's this thing about passion? What's this thing about purpose? I said, you know what? I'm about to talk about it. Give me 45 minutes and we'll talk about it when I get back
And
downstairs
then tune in to the episode when it ends.
That's
tune in.
right.
Let me tell you about these
it.
guys.
I love
So
it.
let me say it this way. I think passion is the fuel that gets you to your purpose. I think
Yeah.
passion is the thing that keeps you up at night. I think
Yeah.
passion is the thing that you would do for free if you had to. I think passion is the thing that breaks your heart, is what it is. And I tell
so
so
good.
many people, it's like, if you could discover that and if you can find that, you're going to find your purpose and you're going to find why you are here. So
I love
we'll
it.
get deeper into that, but I really think that passion is the fuel. One thing I see leaders make mistakes on, especially in leading companies, is they try, and even if they have leadership experience, you can only take your organization so far leading with your leadership experience. It's got to be connected. They're both important, but it's got to be connected with passion. And you can't delegate that. If you're a visionary of a company, you cannot delegate that. That is your responsibility to bring that. So,
and it's hard. It's hard for those visionaries, those innovators, because they are so passionate that I think oftentimes they struggle with leading their team to get to a goal because you can't translate that passion. I mean, you can in your energy and the words that you use, but like passion's in your grit, I think. Well, Missy, I know that this is like, you love this because this really does line. So what does that quote mean to you?
So I've been thinking about this ever since we knew we were going to do this quote with David. And, I think like people get so caught up in what's my purpose? What's my purpose? And they're waiting for like this lightning bolt moment for people to say, I've got it. This is what I was created for. But I think, and this is probably just a different way of saying what David said, and probably what you'll say, Macy, is that passion, it's like, it's what lights you up, right? And purpose is the passion that helps light others up.
so good.
Yeah, that's really good. It's interesting because I think about them like almost as, it's hard to like put into words because in one breath I can say they could be two totally different things. Like I think you need passion for your purpose, but you're not always passionate about things that your purpose, or like you could be passionate about things that aren't part of your purpose too. So like, I think you need passion for your purpose, but you could also be passionate about things that don't lead to your purpose. So it's kind of a weird, like they are tied together, but I don't know that they're always tied together.
All right, we're going to go deeper into that, Mayce, as we go through this podcast, because that's good. Okay, so David, do you think that passion naturally tends to lead us to purpose, or can it sometimes distract us?
Very good. So I'll say this, and this will, I guess, be recorded. So I'm a South Carolina Gamecocks fan.
It's going to be recorded.
Well, it's being recorded. So I'm a South Carolina Gamecocks fan, and I'm a Carolina Panthers fan. And I would say that I'm a passionate fan. But the thing is both of them are 1 and 2 now. Right? I think misdirected passion, and especially if it's a selfish thing, can be. I think one of y'all said this. If your passion is about, if you're passionate about serving others and it's not about you, I believe you're about to discover your purpose. But when it becomes about you and it becomes about, everything's going to, so Monday morning, I had both of my teams lost. And if I'm going to let that really affect my day, by the way, I was a pastor for 7 years, and Sundays, if all the teams lost, your attendance was going to be down that day, you know? And at the end of the day, it's high school people. I mean, people right out of high school running up and down the field with the football, right? Here's what I'd say. If you're passionate about making a difference, if you're passionate about something that isn't about you, that's the thing that keeps you going, and that's the thing that is that breaks your heart. So I do think passion can get misaligned and put towards the wrong things. And I think many people at the end of their lives say, you know what? I was passionate about the wrong things. And they experience this regret at the end of their lives. And they realize that the good news is all of us are still breathing right now, and our lives aren't over yet. And if you're on that way, you can actually change course and make it about investing in other people.
Well, I think what you just said, David, kind of leads back to what I was saying before, is that like you could be really passionate about a sports team, but like you're not purposed to play that sport. Like you're just passionate about that thing. So although they are tied together, they're not always tied together, I suppose.
Yeah. Okay. So I can ask both of you. Here we go. David, you go first. Okay. I think so many people feel stuck because they're waiting to find their purpose. So how can they actually use their passion as a starting point?
Yeah. So I'm going to kind of go off something that you said. It's like people think they have to have this big aha moment. And sometimes people have those. I've had those where it was just gave me a lot of clarity about the direction I was supposed to be going. But this is what I would encourage people to do, is just start moving. Just start doing something. The illustration I've given to my children and to people that I've led and everything else is like, have you ever like got into a car and cranked the car up and tried to steer the steering wheel without moving? It's really hard to steer, isn't it? But as you start to move, it becomes easier to steer. And what I tell people sometimes is like, don't just sit there thinking about how am I going to get to this place? You actually have to push the gas and go. And as you push the gas and go, it becomes a lot easier to course correct. I told my youngest son this. He was, looking for, what he was supposed to be doing. It's like, just start moving. Just start doing something. Course correct. I'm 56 years old. I'm still course correcting right now, trying to figure that out. Yeah. So what I would tell people that are stuck is start moving. Press the gas towards the direction you think. Take action towards where you think you need to be going. And what's going to happen is you're going to fail and you're going to mess up and everything else. But course correct as you go. And what you're going to find is you're going to find your purpose, and you're going to find why you're here, and you're going to start making a difference there. And then it's just going to start fueling your passion more of what you're supposed to be doing. So that's how I think you start discovering your purpose.
Well, I love that because it totally aligns to what Missy and I teach and train on all the time. Is you have to take action. One of the things that I was going to say to our listeners, like obviously we don't know who listens, what age they are. Don't be discouraged if you feel like I'm too old to discover my purpose. I think David, you said a little bit ago, like if you are listening, there is still breath in your lungs. Yeah. So there is still time to figure it out. And if you're not sure, then just take David's advice and move in some direction, right? And it'll lead you there.
Let me say this, Macy, real quick. I had a conversation with a guy yesterday. He's 63 years old. And we were at an event together, and we were just kind of talking and everything else. And I just felt really led to tell him this. And he had, he's sharing like his struggles, his failures, and where he was going and everything else. Is like, here's what I believe. I believe the rest of your life can be the best of your life. I believe that you can do more in the next few years or months, whatever you have left now, than you could the entire your first 63 years. If you get in alignment and you get something that you'll get passionate about, just do that.
Yes.
And I walked away from that. It's like, it's super challenge for me as well, too. Yeah.
One of my favorite quotes that's a great piggyback for that is that it's never too late to become what you might have been.
I love it.
Yeah.
Isn't that good? Yeah. Like if what you said, Macy, David, both of you said it. If you're still breathing and there's passion in your bones to do something, go for it. Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Go ahead, David. We're going to say
I'm just
something.
saying, y'all get me going here. I'm on the end of my seat, right now. But oh my gosh, I forgot what I was going to say now.
Come back to you. It'll come back to you.
Go ahead. Yeah.
What I was going to say is obviously, like, we meet a lot of people, and a lot of people that we meet have shiny object syndrome, right?
Squirrel.
Or
Squirrel.
Missy likes to say.
Squirrel.
Oh, you're not like
And
that at all, Missy. Come on.
Not at all. Not at all.
They're leaders that have passion in a lot of things, right? Like, I'm passionate about this. Like, I've met people that have a lot of passions. And I guess a question might be like, how do they narrow it down to one or two that aligns with their biggest purpose? Like, David, do you have any advice for people? Or like, does that even matter? Like, does it matter that you have 10 things that you're passionate about? How do you figure out what passion is aligning with your purpose?
So I'll kind of give you a 30,000 foot view, but maybe a more practical view too. I think your greatest purpose comes out of either your greatest failure or your biggest hurt. And I've just, as a pastor for years, I've seen that. It's like, I'm going through this right now. There's a lady in our company who's had so many just difficult things happen to her in her life. And what I've spoken into her is like, God does not want to waste that. And he's actually wanting you to use that to help someone else. And I'm challenging her to write a book about it. And I'm challenging her to do these things. And the listeners, maybe you had a great failure in your life, or maybe you had someone hurt you, or maybe there was something that just was a huge disappointment. What I have found as a leader is that's usually setting the groundwork for a purpose that God has made you for. Because you can speak into other people's lives that has gone through the exact same thing that you've gone through in a way that I can't.
Sure.
So start using that maybe to help other people. And a more practical side, I have all three of my sons are in their 20s right now. And I just have a huge heart for people in that generation. Because listen, if you're in your 20s or 30s right now and you're listening to this, there's more potential. You have more potential to make an impact than I ever had. Because this is a generation that's looked at as, it's just that generation. Listen, if you will just find a purpose, find a passion and purpose in your life, you can make a massive difference. So I'm doing an event in November, and literally the event in November is 10 mistakes I made under the age of 40. Because I don't want you to have to make those mistakes again. I want you to do that because I believe if you can start living your life, because I felt like I wasted a lot of that time. If you start living your life this way, your impact is going to be way larger than my impact is going to be. So I think that's one of the ways, Mayce, that you can begin to discover your purpose and what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, and I would say, if you don't, like, some people might be listening and say, well, I've been blessed. I haven't really experienced great heartache or great loss. Think about in your own leadership style then. Like, have you had a boss that was not the ideal boss?
Yes.
Which is why I am doing what I do. Missy and I talk often that she has experienced a lot of great leaders, a lot of great bosses where I did not have that experience. So I take everything, like, kind of, I could write the book of don't do it this way, right? Yeah. Based on what I learned. The other thing I want to just piggyback on what you said, David, about that 2030 generation, yes, they get a lot of slack for whatever reason, right? I guess the social media, the phone, all of that. But that generation really is a generation that has passion and purpose, servanthood, more so than any generation
100%.
before
They're
them.
so determined.
Yeah.
They're so determined to leave a mark and make a difference.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So David, is there anything that, let's say, like leaders of teams, of organizations, that they could do to help their team members connect more with their passion or their purpose? Hey listeners, are you constantly buried in emails, chasing down your team and staying up late just to catch up?
You're not just busy, you're stuck in a cycle that's costing you time, energy, and even your life outside of work.
And it's not that you're not working hard. You're working harder than ever to reach goals and increase productivity and profit, but you're micromanaging your people, fielding constant interruptions and wasting your time. And it's costing you the moments that matter most at home.
That's exactly why we created our free masterclass, Manage Without Losing Your Mind.
In just 1 hour, you'll learn how to spot the things that are stealing your day.
You'll learn how to delegate the right way.
And you'll uncover how to take back up to 10 hours a week. So, well, you can be home by dinner.
We're going live on Zoom October 16th, 1 o'clock Eastern.
Register now at mmmasterclass.com. That's mmmasterclass.com.
We even have a free gift for those who show up live on Zoom.
So register now. One more time, we'll give it to you, mmmasterclass.com.
We'll see you on Zoom.
Yeah. So a lot to say about that. And I'll try to think through that a little bit. So number one is, as a leader, what we try to do sometimes is like, why isn't that person, leading to their expectation, or why isn't this happening? I always tell leaders to take a look at yourself first, because they're just following what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
But Macy, what you talked about, some bad leadership, I actually just put a talk together like 2 weeks ago, and the difference between leading with fear or leading with vision.
Yes.
Both move people,
Yes.
but both have two complete different results to them, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
as a leader, a lot of times, if you don't see someone performing like you feel like they need to be performing, maybe it's your fault that they're doing that, right?
And usually it is, because it's always the leader's
It's
responsibility.
always the leader's fault. It's always
Always.
the leader's fault. So I usually
That's right.
tell leaders to do a self-evaluation of themselves first before they start to try to fix anything on their team, and be a leader worth following, right? And if
Yeah.
you're a leader worth following, you are looking out to try to make others win first.
Yeah.
And deflect anything to them, and what that looks like. You correct privately, you celebrate publicly. All those things are some things that I would look at as in leadership.
I
Yeah,
love
it's
that.
always that checkup from the neck up,
Oh,
right?
without
It's
question.
always that look at as Michael Jackson saying, the man in the mirror, right?
Right.
Starting there.
Yeah.
So I think that's great advice.
So I think something too really important about this is, if you're a leader and you're not having one-on-one meetings with your team,
yes.
you are not serving them well, because until you get to know them, you're not going to be able to lead them. All right.
How
Another thing
often,
too,
David, how often do you suggest leaders do that?
it depends on, so when I was on the staff at church, we had 28 staff and 1,200 volunteers. Obviously, I can't have one-on-ones with everyone, but I did have some direct reports. So I had 5 direct reports to me, and I honestly would meet with them every single week. So
Yeah.
Yes.
30 minutes every single week. And they're like, oh, that's such a waste of time. It's like, no, that's the best
That's the best time.
that I can
Best
spend with them.
time you can use.
And as you do these one-on-ones, what I would do is sometimes you just want to go straight to business. A lot of times when your team is underperforming, it isn't because they don't love their job. It isn't because they aren't where they're supposed to be. It's because there's a problem at home.
Yes.
And I've done one-on-ones before, and we spent all 30, 45 minutes just we didn't talk about work at all.
Yeah.
But what happens is your team realizes that you care more about who they're becoming than what they're doing.
Yes.
And if you want to get buy-in as a leader, and that's not the reason why you're doing it, but the way that you build that family environment and people around you, is you really care about the people that you're leading, and those people will run through walls for you
Yes.
if you know them and you're investing in them. So what I try to do is once a week, 30 minutes. So, I mean, it depends on their personality. I had one
Sure.
guy, we could talk in 10 minutes, and he's a guy, and he's talking about, and then there's others I'll have conversations, and we could talk 3 hours about things, so it just kind of depends, and you need to know your team, but I would meet with them every single week.
Yeah, I love that. And I would also
agree.
say, one of the things to add to the conversations, when you can, right? If you're just talking personal, you may not be able to, it won't feel right. But to really say to them, like, what can I do as a leader
Yes.
to help
Yeah.
you do your job better? Not, what could you do to do your job better? It always has to circle back to your leadership, to your management, right? Like, what can I do? I owe it to you. What do you need from me?
That's good.
For sure.
I'll give you 3 questions. And I actually do this with my team, but I also do it with my wife. It's hard, it's humbling, and I do it with my kids. Is I ask them 3 questions. What would you like for me to start doing? What would you like for me to stop doing? And what would you like for me to continue doing?
I
And
like
those
those.
three things will kind of open up their if there it brings vulnerability, which brings great conversation. But pride can sneak in really quick. It's like if
Yeah,
you
it
try to
can.
defend yourself, you need to ask those three questions and then shut up
That's
and just take notes and then actually do them. Don't just
yes.
ask and then actually do them. So.
Oh my goodness. You are dropping gold. I know our listeners are like writing those
Yeah,
questions
as fast
down,
as they
taking
can.
notes. So, David, what practices help you personally stay aligned with your passion and your purpose?
I love it. One of the things that I've found in my leadership that's just the most valuable is having time to think. We get so busy with life and to-do lists and everything else. When I was on staff at church, but even when I lead this team, I have on my calendar blocked time
I love
that's
that so
just
much.
for
That's
me.
like music to our ears, right,
So,
Miss?
so this is what I do. Every week I have a time. It's 30 minutes, and it doesn't get moved. It's like
Yeah.
the most important time that I have is investing in myself, right?
Yeah.
If I can't invest in myself, I can't invest in you, right? So that 30 minutes. So I do regular short periods of time, but then I do less frequent long periods of time. And I just reevaluate everything that I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
spend that 30 minutes is like, hey, am I in line here? Am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing right here? And your time is the most valuable thing. You guys know this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can have more money, but you can't have more time, right?
That's right.
And if you can just spend that time thinking and kind of get your head up from the daily grind,
Yes.
evaluating your purpose, evaluating your passions, evaluating your leadership, that's been one of the most valuable things that I've been able to pour into. And even when my assistant knows that time is not touched. And then at least 2 times a year, I try to go away for a day and a half or so by myself. I'm not a great by myself person, but it's good because it usually takes me about a half a day to kind of get down
Settle into
and
it. Yeah.
settle in. And it is the best ideas that I have that can eventually lead my team to a place that they never thought they can go is when I
Yeah.
have that think time.
And it sounds
Yes.
like it'd be so easy, right? Like I'm just going to take 30 minutes to think. It's probably like one of the hardest 30
Yeah.
minutes of your week because you're like, all I need to do is think. And
Right.
sometimes that's a struggle. Okay, so as I just kind of want to define, just because we've been talking a lot and pretty quickly, because that's how all three of us are, I really just want to lay out.
Y'all keep it up, right? He's
Yeah.
watching. Y'all keep it up with us. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to lay out for our listeners because some people might be listening like, I don't really understand what they're saying, like the difference between passion and purpose. They're tied, they're not tied, like what it is. So I kind of want to recap what we've said about passion and purpose. So again, passion is the fuel, right?
Yeah.
Passion is the thing that gets you excited. It energizes you. You like lose track of time. Like, oh my God, it's 2:00. How did I get there? Right?
Yeah.
Passion is the thing that you get lit up about. It's what you enjoy. It's the thing that brings you life.
Yeah. And then I would say that purpose is like that destination, right? Like purpose is the bigger why behind your life and your leadership. I think it's less about what excites you and more about who benefits from what you're doing,
Yeah.
right? And purpose, I would say purpose usually has a service or a legacy type component because it's about contributing and giving.
Yeah, giving back. Yeah. And I think, passion is the fire, or passion is the thing that fires you up, but purpose is what your fire is for. Like passion excites me, but this is why I'm excited. Really to kind of recap what you both have said, passion is personal, right? Yeah. Like you as an individual are passionate about this personal thing, but purpose is for others. Passion fills you, purpose spills out.
Oh, so good. So good.
I'll share this story really quick. So my dad passed away in April, and he was a fantastic father. He was just an unbelievable father, and he was in the hospital for 37 days, and about 7 days before he passed it, he was out of it. And because we're going to talk about legacy here, and I'm by myself, and I'm beside his bed, and I'm praying, and we had to move him to hospice, and I was saying this prayer. It's like, God, if you could just wake him up one more time, I want to talk to him one more time. And I kid you not, I lifted my head and he opened his eyes. His eyes had not been open for 3 days. And I was like, wow, this prayer thing works.
Yeah.
And I looked at Dad, and I looked at Dad, and I said, Dad, is there anything I can do for you? And we have to make a decision. We're going to have to move you home or move you to hospice. Is there anything I can do for you? He goes, y'all just make a decision. It doesn't matter. I said, well, Dad, what can I do for you? And he said, I just want my family. And I said, Dad, over the last 37 days, all your children, all your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren have flooded these hallways to be with you. And I said, Dad, you did a great job. And then he said, before I said, sorry, guys, he just said, David, did I do a good job? I said, Dad, you did a great job.
Oh.
And he closed his eyes. Let me tell this and challenge the listeners here. Are you investing in the people that will cry at your funeral?
Oh.
Because at the end of the day, if you have clients and you get hit by a truck today, they're going to find a new realtor. They're going to find a new person to handle it. Invest in the things that matter most in your life. And for me, as far as purpose, as we talk about purpose, for me, it's about honoring God, loving my wife, loving my children, and everything else comes after that. If you can just do that well, you're going to have a legacy that your kids and grandkids can stand on your shoulders, and they're going to go a lot further and faster than you ever did in your life. So as you're doing that, just make it simple is what I would tell you to do. Invest in the things that matter is what I would tell you. Sorry, I got off on a tangent there.
Good. No,
but I'm going to tell you right now,
I mean,
it's all about relationships. Your
Yeah, it
purpose
is.
is attached to relationships. If it's your team, if it's your family, or whatever that may be, it's about investing in them is what it's
So
about.
good. Well, I think that's such a great segue to really our big takeaway for the week. And listeners, if you have only one thing that you take from this week's episode, let it be this. Passion is fuel, but it's not forever. It's not legacy, right? Passion is what gets you excited to jump out of bed in the morning, even without an alarm clock. It's that rush of energy, the I can't wait to do this feeling. And it's powerful because it keeps you engaged in the moment. Whether you're starting a new project, leading a team or family, or learning something fresh. But here's the thing. Feelings rise and fall. Passion can run high for a season and feel quieter, like in that next season of life. Yeah. That doesn't mean it's gone. It just means it's fuel, but it's not the final destination, just the feeling, right?
Yeah, that's right, Miss. I mean, I think purpose is that final destination,
That's
right? Purpose is what steadies you when the passion fades. And purpose is the thing that reminds you the why, like why you're doing this. It's the impact, it's the legacy that David was just talking about. It really, at the end of the day, purpose is what your life and your leadership stands for. And when you've got purpose, you can keep going even when the passion feels thin on those bad days because it's tied to something bigger than just that moment.
That's right.
Passion might keep, right. Passion, like David was saying before, like passion is the thing that gets you moving, but purpose, it keeps you moving in the right direction.
Correct.
So great. David, thank you so much for being here.
Hey, I can hang out with y'all all day. This has been a blast.
You're going to have to come back for sure. You are a great guest, and we so appreciate you.
Yes, absolutely. If our listeners, David, want to stay connected with you and learn more about you and what it is that you're doing, how can they do that?
So the best way right now is just through Instagram and Facebook. It's David Nassim. We're launching our website probably in about 2 months or so. So I don't have that information for you yet. I got all my smart people working on all that right now. But I'm super excited for this next season. And if you have me back next time, I'll tell everybody how they can connect with me. But I'm just here to serve you guys. You guys are making it's impactful. You guys are making an impact on people, and I'm just cheering you guys on and watching you guys. So I'm so thankful for the difference that you're making in literally so many people's lives. So thank you for this opportunity.
Wow. We're going to put the Facebook and Instagram information in the show notes.
For sure.
That's
All right.
okay.
So, David, as we wrap up, we ask all our guests the same question. What is your favorite leadership quote?
Well, and not everybody may believe in the Bible. I believe it's the best book on everything. And
Yeah.
my leadership quote is actually on my phone right now. It's a passage of scripture. And
Okay.
it's live a life worthy of the calling that you have received.
Oh,
Life is short. Don't waste your life. Use it for a greater purpose. And that's what I'm dedicating my life to. Is I
and
want to
what
live
verse
a
is that in case someone wants to refer to it?
It's in Ephesians chapter 4, verse 1. Live a
Very good.
life worthy of the calling you have received. And here's what you need to know. Calling is just a fancy word for what your purpose is why
That's
God
right.
created you and put you here. And matter of fact, if you don't live that out, something will be left undone on in this world. And I would challenge you to pursue that, live it out, and just watch what God does in his life. So that's my
So good.
leadership quote. I ripped it off from the Bible. I rip off
You
everything from the
ripped it
Bible.
off.
So good. And it lines up perfectly, coincidentally, with what we're
It
talking
does.
about
It's
today.
It
no accident.
does.
No accident
Yeah,
at all.
yeah. And listeners, we want to hear from you too. Do you have a favorite leadership quote? Send it our way, and we might spotlight it on a future episode.
And we'll be back next week with another quote and more leadership insights. And you know what we're going to do? We're
We're
gonna
gonna
talk
talk
about it. Bye, Bestie.
Bye,
Bye,
Bestie. Bye,
David. Thank
David.
Bye.
Thank you
you.
so
Enjoyed it.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We want to thank you for listening. If you're enjoying this podcast, please show us some love by clicking the 3 dots to download the podcast. Leave us a 5-star rating on your podcast app and talk about it with other leaders to help them find the show from any of the major podcast apps. We'd love for you to follow us on social media too. Impactful with an M _messages on Instagram and Impactful Messages on LinkedIn.